What are the pros and cons of an all-inclusive resort? Hopefully you saw my video on what exactly is included in an all-inclusive resort so we know what we're talking about here. But a lot of people want to know, what's the big deal? They may have heard their friends or family talk about it and they want to know, is it right for them? Well, let me tell you. So the first pro of an all-inclusive resort is everything's included. Your meals, your drinks, your room, activities, that's what people love. It's a one-stop shop. You show up, you've already paid, and there's very little out-of-pocket spending that happens once you're there. Maybe you'll pay some extra gratuities, maybe you'll pay for a shore excursion, a bottle of wine, or a special steak, but otherwise everything's all paid for in advance, and you don't have to worry about finding restaurants, where you're gonna eat, how it's gonna work. It makes vacation very relaxing and very easy. The other thing a lot of people really like about all-inclusive resorts is that they're geared towards an English-speaking audience. Yes, you're going to be in Mexico or the Caribbean. These are other countries, but they've designed the resorts and trained their staff for English-speaking, and a lot of times particularly American, Canadian, or English guests. So they know your preferences, they know the food you're gonna like. It makes it much more approachable to visiting in a foreign country because you don't have to worry about a language barrier or having unfamiliar food available. This is especially a pro for families who want to make sure there's gonna be some food there that their kids will like, especially if they have picky eaters. The third pro really goes back to the included activity. So people really love all-inclusive resorts that have a ton of amenities like a swim-up bar, a water slide, a splash park. Some even have flow riders that may be a little bit of an extra charge, a ropes course. Lots of fun activities for everyone, and that sets it apart from just going to a traditional hotel in Florida. And that's why people, I think, really tend to like the all-inclusive resort. So again, everything's included, including a lot of really great fun activities, and it makes travel a little more approachable when you're heading to a foreign country. Now, the cons. So one of the big cons is they're all located in foreign countries. I think at least twice a week I get an email from someone saying they want to go to an all-inclusive resort in the US. There's only two. Belongo Bay, which is located in St. Thomas, and an adults-only resort in Key Largo. Now, there's a lot of ranches or spa resorts you can go to that include meals and maybe some cocktails, but it's not that same vibe of the Caribbean all-inclusive. Another con is the quality of the food and drinks. So you may hear folks from time to time complain about the dining and the drinks at an all-inclusive resort. And to that I say, yeah, we should expect that. That is where they're saving money. That's where they're creating the value, is they are a volume model. Quantity, not necessarily quality. Now, some all-inclusives, particularly in the luxury category, do this better than others, but if you're going to a budget all-inclusive, this is not going to be a 5-star dining experience, and that's something just to keep in mind. This is particularly hard for people with food allergies or vegans. Now, some all-inclusives do a better job than others, and that's my job as a travel agent. If you want to go somewhere and you do have food allergies, to match you with the right resort, but others, it's incredibly difficult, especially for vegans, to find good options at these resorts because, again, their focus really is quantity, serving a high volume of people at the lowest price possible. It's also not an authentic local experience. As I said, a lot of the larger all-inclusive resorts are geared towards English-speaking audiences. For years, I have complained that Mexican all-inclusive resorts don't have Mexican food, or at least authentic Mexican food is incredibly hard to find. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you really want to get to know the culture, try the food. You're either going to have to take a lot of excursions off the resort or pick a smaller hotel so that you are immersed more in, let's say, downtown Playa del Carmen. So those type of experiences are a little bit easier to find or get to. Then if you are taking a lot of excursions, you're paying for things you're not going to use. So for instance, if your plan is to get up at sunrise every day and be out of the hotel exploring incredible places, then you're not drinking there, you're not eating there, and you've already paid for that. You're not using the activities. So that's something to really think about when you think about your vacation. Are you going to be spending your time at the resort, enjoying the amenities, enjoying the food, enjoying the pools, or is your plan to be out exploring the country that you're in? And if you're going to be exploring the country that you're in, a regular hotel may be a better choice, so you're not paying for food, drinks, and activities you're not going to use. So that's what I think the big pros and cons are. The pros for an all-inclusive resort is convenience. It's easy, it's relaxing, it's all set up for you all in advance. And then the other side of that coin is that means you're not necessarily going to get an authentic experience. You may not get a dining experience that is exactly what you want. And you may be paying for things that you're not going to use once you're there. So what do you think? Is an all-inclusive resort right for you, or does it depend on the kind of vacation you're taking? Let me know in the comments. I hope you found this video helpful, and here's another one YouTube thought you might like.